Small-sided games to develop soccer intelligence. Part 1. Developing awareness and vision. Read the game situation quickly. Analyze it exactly. Make smart decisions. Act creatively. Play intelligently. We should respect the soccer of the past, analyze the soccer of the present, and anticipate the soccer of the future. Soccer is more than the sum of technique, tactics, and conditioning. When a team loses the ball, this is more often the result of a wrong decision than poor technique. A coach who teaches his players correct technique just by constant repetition is neglecting to teach them when, where, and why they need to use a technique to deal with a given game situation. The players learn to read game situations correctly by chance, if at all. Coaches often ask, how can I raise the playing level of my team by using better drills? Horst Vine takes a different approach. He has created a soccer development model that is based on the philosophy of street soccer, but is far more effective. His motto is stimulation through play instead of instruction through drills. The coach confronts his players with the same or similar game situations in which they have to make decisions quickly and translate them into action. He asks them questions designed to stimulate them to discover answers for themselves. Only in this way, and not by constantly following the coach's instructions, can they develop genuine soccer intelligence. You can find these questions with which a coach can stimulate his players to think for themselves in the in-depth supplement on this DVD. Possible answers are provided together with helpful tips to help coaches translate the demonstrated coaching methods into practice without any difficulty. What is mini-soccer? Mini-soccer, with its special rules, is an excellent tool for encouraging soccer intelligence. More than 12 variations of 3-on-3 help the players to learn the basic principles that characterize the world's top soccer players. After each goal, one player is substituted in a given sequence. The players do not have a fixed position. In this way, they acquire all-round skills. Goals only count if they are scored by a player in the shooting zone. This prevents the players from shooting whenever they feel like it. They must pass the ball accurately into the shooting zone and then shoot with either the first or second touch. A mini-soccer field is 32 meters long and 22 meters wide. Two goals measuring 2 by 1 meters are positioned 8 meters apart on each end line. In front of the goals is a 6-meter wide penalty area, the shooting zone, which is marked by a line or cones. If a team commits a foul while defending its own scoring area, the opposing team is awarded a penalty. An attacker dribbles from the center spot toward a defender. Two defenders challenge from behind, while two teammates come to help. The game is started by throwing the ball in the air. If the ball goes over the touchline or the end line, or a free kick is awarded, the player who restarts the play can pass the ball or run with it. All opponents must stand at least 3 meters from the restart player. There are no offsides, corners, or penalty kicks. In mini-soccer, the players learn to create and take advantage of 2-on-1 situations, to counter-attack, and to combine. The ability to read the game and make decisions quickly is required, as are a good overview of the situation and good positional sense. The players learn when and where to pass the ball, as well as when not to pass it. All of these skills are developed and improved step by step in the preparatory games, and then in the various forms of mini-soccer. Preparatory games, mini-soccer 3-on-3. 3-on-0.
The object of the preparatory games is to help you to get to know the mini-soccer rules and the pitch. 3 attackers against no defenders. Run across the pitch from one goal to the other. When you are in the shooting zone, shoot into one of the 2 goals. Each of you must touch the ball at least once.
Innerhalb der Schusszone, das heißt nach der weißen Linie, den Ball in eines der beiden Tore schießen. Okay? Ja, die ersten. Die gelben. Fang an.
Three-on-0 in opposite directions.
Now we start again in the opposite direction. The orange and blue teams go to that end, and the white and yellow teams go to the other end. White starts.
Auf die andere Seite.
Three-on-0 in a triangular formation.
A goal only counts if you attack in a triangular formation, so a goal does not count if you are all in a line.
Das heißt, das Tor ist nicht gültig, wenn ihr auf gleicher Höhe spielt.
The coach asks the players questions, helping them to discover the advantages of a triangular formation for themselves. You can find suitable questions and possible answers in the supplement on this DVD. Three-on-0 with interchange of attacking positions.
A goal only counts if you interchange positions while you attack. When you score, each of you must be in a different position than when you started. Yellow starts.
Muss im Augenblick des Torerfolges auf einer anderen Position spielen als am Anfang. Wir gehen jetzt alle hinter diesen Toren und alle in die gleiche Spielrichtung. Die gelbe Mannschaft fängt an, zeigt euch, wie es geht. Kombination mit Spielerwechsel.
Where should you pass if you want to get forward as quickly as possible? Where should you run to after you pass? What is the point of interchanging your positions? These are just a few of the questions the coach asks to make the players realize why they should swap positions and help them to do so properly. In addition, the players also learn to overlap properly. You can find more on this topic in the supplement on this DVD. Three-on-0 as fast attack.
Now we want to see which team can score fastest. So, you have to think up an effective combination play if you want to win.
Also eine ganz effektive Kombination ausdenken, so schnell wie möglich zum Torerfolg zu kommen. Der spanische Rekord ist 4,6 Sekunden. Wollen wir mal sehen, ob ihr das überbieten könnt. Los geht's.
The coach's skillful questions guide the players to the best possible attacking combination. He directs their attention especially toward the player who starts the play and to the direction and number of passes. After several attempts, the players recognize which attacking combination is fastest.
5 seconds, that's a record.
Neuer Rekord. Stopp! Was hat die blaue
Stop.
Mannschaft gemacht?
What did the blue team do
Warum haben
right?
die Erfolg gehabt und ihr
Why
nicht?
were they successful when you were not?
Pass auf.
Pay attention,
Noch keine
no
Mannschaft
team
hat
has found the
die
best
beste
solution yet.
Lösung gefunden.
The players agree how they can pass the ball best if they want to set the fastest time.
What is better, 4 passes or 3?
Wir spielen nur 3.
3 or 2? Yeah, so why not do it?
Ja, warum macht das nicht?
Now you only have to know the direction of the passes. And is it better to dribble or to pass? Why? Good, you know everything. Now, you have to put what you know into practice. Let's go.
Ihr wisst ja alles. Aber das müsst ihr jetzt umsetzen. Los geht's.
After the short discussion phase, the players combine better and finally find the right solution.
Now we are going to show you the most effective and fastest combination. The ball is on the right side.
Der Ball ist auf der rechten Seite.
After the solution has been demonstrated, all of the players practice the ideal combination and try to carry it out as fast as possible. Mini soccer, 3-on-1.
Es wird jetzt im Mini
You are now going to play 3-on-1 on a mini soccer field. 3 yellow attackers against 1 blue defender in the shooting zone. Then 3 orange players against 1 white defender. There is a change of defender after each attack.
Und muss den Torerfolg verhindern. Die zweite Mannschaft, die startet, ist die orange Mannschaft. Und ein weißer Spieler wird noch nicht ins Feld, wird anschließend den blauen austauschen. Alle restlichen Spieler kommen mit mir und nach jedem Angriff wird der Verteidiger ausgetauscht. 3 gegen 1.
When do you pass the ball? When the defender is in front of it. When your opponent wants to take the ball off you.
Wenn der Gegner euch den Ball wegnehmen will, dann spielt er den Ball ab. Also,
When do you have to pass the ball? What do you have to watch out for when you pass? Why should the player in the middle have the ball? And what should the other players concentrate on? What do you do if the route to the goal suddenly opens up? With these questions, the coach helps the players to make good use of their numerical superiority. 3-on-1 with a counter-attacking defender.
wenn der Abwehrspieler
If the defender wins possession,
den
what should he
Stürmer
do?
den Ball wegnimmt,
Counter-attack as quickly as possible.
ja, genau wie im richtigen Fußball, bei den Profis, den Ball so schnell wie möglich wieder in den Angriff zurückbringen, um einen Konterangriff zu fahren. Ne? Das machen wir jetzt.
What should the defender do to intercept the ball? What should he do when he has won the ball? Intelligent defensive play is just as important as fast combination play. Continuous and alternate attacks toward both ends.
Zunächst spielen die Roten.
First, the Reds play against the Yellows.
Beide
The Reds are in the middle with the ball. One yellow defends both goals. Attack the 2 top goals first.
Ein Gelber verteidigt die beiden Tore, du verteidigst dort und du bleibst bei mir und wechselst aus. Greifen wir zunächst die beiden oberen Tore an. Tor! Auf das
Goal!
andere Tor.
You have 10
10
attacks.
Angriffe. Aus.
The object of this game is to score as many goals as possible in 10 attacks. There is a defender at each end, while the third player waits on the center line. When a goal is scored, the defender who conceded it switches places with the waiting player. An attack ends if the defender touches the ball. In the shooting zone, the attackers must pass or shoot with their first touch. Three-on-one as fast attack.
The team that takes the ball past the defender and scores fastest is the winner. Try to score in less than 5 seconds.
Versucht es in weniger als 5 Sekunden. Los geht's.
Just as in 3-on-0, the players are under pressure to score as fast as they can. The players soon find the best way of winning the game. The central attacker runs with the ball at the defender, and at exactly the right moment, he passes into the path of one of the wingers, preferably into the shooting zone, allowing the flanker to shoot first time at goal.
Make sure that each of the 3 attackers touches the ball, otherwise the goal does not count.
An additional defender supporting from behind.
Now the mini-games become a little more difficult. We will play with an additional defender who starts 6 meters behind the 3 attackers. Each team attacks to see who can score the most goals.
Du bist der Verteidiger vor der Schusszone und du kommst zu mir, du machst die Rotation. Und die anderen 3 Mannschaften die greifen nacheinander an, um zu sehen, welche Mannschaft die meisten Tore schießt. 3 gegen 1 plus ein Abwehrspieler, der von hinten verteidigt. Los geht's.
To put the attackers under pressure, another defender takes part. Depending on his age and level of skill, he starts between 4 and 8 meters behind the attackers and tries to win the ball. The coach asks the following questions about the play. Which player should have the ball when the game starts? When and where should he pass it? What should the defender do? What should the 2 attackers who do not have the ball do? What should the 2 attackers who do not have the ball do?
Now we will shorten the distance from 6 meters to 4.
The attackers have a more difficult task if not only the distance, but also the starting position of the additional defender is changed. They must absorb this and adjust their play to the new situation. Two additional defenders supporting from behind.
Instead of 1 defender behind the attackers, there are now 2 who set off as soon as the attackers touch the ball. We are therefore playing 3-on-1 with 2 defenders behind the attackers. Let's start.
Gegen 1 mit 2 Verteidigern hinter den Stürmern. Okay, los geht's.
The pressure on the attackers increases when the original defender is helped by 2 additional ones. This game improves the player's ability to pass more quickly and accurately, and to run into space and to score when the pace is faster and they are under pressure from the defenders. Two additional defenders supporting from different positions.
Now we play 3 against 3 again. Let's see which team wins. One team attacks and the other defends. One defender is in front of the shooting zone, one defender is behind you, and one defender comes from outside the field from the touchline. As soon as the attackers touch the ball, the defenders start to defend.
Im selben Augenblick, wo der Ball berührt wird von den Angreifern, können die Verteidiger ihre Aufgabe lösen. Los geht's.
The positions of the defenders must be changed continuously so that the attackers can improve their perceptual skills and learn to adjust their attacking play in response to the play of the defenders.
So guys, now tell me, which of the three attackers has the best chance of scoring a goal? The outside right. Why? Because he faces the least resistance. This means that you know who is going to score before you start. And what do? I've been watching the outside right. An intelligent player, he reads the game well and positions himself to take account of the position of his opponent.
Und was machst du? Intelligenter Spieler. Er liest die Spielsituation und richtet sein Stellungsspiel ein aufgrund der Stellung seiner Mitspieler. Fantastisch. Los geht's.
Helped by the coach's questions, the players find the best way of carrying out their task. They constantly think about the way they run and pass, and in particular, about the timing of their actions. Errors are often punished by loss of possession. The coach addresses this and helps the players to recognize errors and avoid them the next time. Mini soccer 3-on-2.
Our mini soccer preparatory games will now become a little more difficult. We're going to play against two opponents instead of one. One opponent is in the shooting zone and one is outside. The three yellows attack the goal alternately.
Einer in der Schusszone und einer außerhalb der Schusszone. Und hier die beiden blauen, einer in der Schusszone und einer außerhalb der Schusszone. Und die drei gelben Stürmer greifen die Tore abwechselnd an. Einmal nach oben und einmal nach unten. Los geht's.
How many goals can the attackers score in sequence without losing the ball or allowing it to go out of play? An attack ends with a goal, or when the ball goes out of play, or when the defenders win possession. Which attacker has the best chance of scoring? On which side of the field do the attackers have a 2-on-1 advantage? With these and other questions, the coach stimulates the players to think about the way they play. Three-on-two, without restrictions for the defenders.
Instead of standing one behind the other, the two defenders can stand where they like. You can defend anywhere.
Ihr braucht nicht hintereinander spielen, ihr könnt überall verteidigen.
The defenders can now play wherever they like. This forces the attackers to watch more closely what all of the other players are doing and to react faster to changes so that they can score goals. 3-on-2 and 3 alternately.
Now the whites attack and the reds defend. 3-on-3. Two reds defend these two goals, and you defend these two goals on your own. This means that the whites play once against two defenders and once against one defender.
Das heißt, die Weißen müssen abwechselnd beide Endlinien mit den beiden Toren angreifen.
In the final mini-soccer preparatory game, the players learn to adjust their attacking play to the problems of facing first one, then two defenders. Before we come to the different forms of mini-soccer, here are a few points for the coach to think about. Encourage your players to engage in a dialogue instead of just presenting them with a monologue and thus condemning them to listen inactively. A good coach rarely instructs or orders players to carry out certain actions. Bring your players into situations in which they have to solve problems. Encourage your players to think. Your questions should start with how, where, when, or why, so that the players cannot simply answer yes or no. When is the best moment to pass the ball? Who do you pass it to? How should the defender challenge the player in possession? Step by step, you guide the players to the solutions to possible game problems. You help them to size up complex game situations more quickly and to make correct decisions. This is the basis for intelligent play and for raising the level of play of your team. Mini soccer variations. Dribbling over the goal line. In the first mini soccer game, goals can only be scored by dribbling the ball over one of the two goal lines. This forces the players to use the space skillfully and create clear goal-scoring opportunities.
Los geht's.
Each mini soccer variation has different coaching objectives. The coach defines the objectives by changing the rules of the game and the way in which goals are scored. He might focus on wing play, then on through passes from midfield.
From now on, a goal only counts if you carry out the Zidane trick on the goal line.
Special additional tasks on the goal line, such as the Zidane trick shown here, increase the level of difficulty for the attacker. Make it, take it.
Make it, take it. What does that mean? If you score a goal by dribbling the ball over one of the two goal lines, you immediately have to attack the goal standing opposite. You attack these goals, then you attack the opposite goals.
In the make it, take it game, it is important that the scorer immediately passes the ball to a teammate who is running into space in midfield. The defenders can only challenge outside the 6-meter shooting zone. The attackers should use this small advantage and quickly take up positions in space in midfield. The winner is the team that scores the most goals in succession. If the attackers want to keep possession for as long as possible and score as many goals in succession as possible, they must play intelligently. Having an eye for free space, running into space cleverly, and passing precisely are just as important as good concentration. Valuable time must not be wasted on unnecessary dribbles. The teammates of the player in possession put distance between themselves and the ball as quickly as possible and create free space at the other end. Here is an example of intelligent play. The whites attack and try to create a chance to score in one of the opposition's goals. All of the reds defend the goal on the right. The whites quickly switch the play toward the left goal. Before the reds can recognize the danger and take up new positions, the whites suddenly pass to the other side. The next goal is scored easily. Mini soccer with 3 teams.
We are now going to play mini soccer with 3 teams. The whites attack and play alternately toward the 2 goals. Once against the orange team and once against the yellows. There's a goalkeeper, a player who always stays on the 6-meter line and is only allowed to defend in that position, and 1 defender who can defend anywhere.
Zone-Linie, der 6-Meter-Linie, bleibt und nur dort verteidigen darf und ein Verteidiger, der überall verteidigen kann.
3 teams play a tournament. The whites first have 10 attacks against the other 2, 5 attacks at each end. The range of action of the defenders is limited so that the attackers can use the space more easily. One defender is a goalkeeper who remains close to the 2 goals. A second defender is on the 6-meter line. The third defender has an action radius from the 6-meter line to the center line. By making intelligent use of the free space and passing the ball quickly, the attackers succeed in outwitting the defenders and scoring a goal. After 10 attacks, the yellows take over in the center, then the reds. Which team scores the most goals? The players learn to dictate the pace of the game, to size up the available space and the constantly changing distances, and to find a surprising, creative, and intelligent solution in each game situation. Mini soccer without restrictions.
So, jetzt wird's ein bisschen
Now
schwieriger.
things are a little more difficult. Why? Because we no longer have a goalkeeper and the defenders are less restricted. They can defend wherever they want to, although only inside their own half. 3 attackers carry out 10 attacks, 5 on the left and 5 on the right.
Und 5 zur rechten Seite. Ja, verstanden? Okay.
All 3 defenders can win the ball anywhere in their own half. This makes life more difficult for the attackers. They have to observe more, as the action radius of all the players is wider. After 10 attacks, the teams swap places and tasks until each team has played the attacking role once. The attackers should always target the goal farthest away from the goalkeeper.
If the attacking team loses possession or fails to score, the defenders become the attackers.
Angriffsmannschaft. Das heißt, die weiße Mannschaft verteidigt und die blaue Mannschaft greift an gegen die gelbe Mannschaft.
Loss of possession, the yellows attack. And the whites retain possession.
In this game, the number of attacks is not specified beforehand. A team stays in possession until an opposing player wins the ball and passes it to a teammate. It is not sufficient for a defender to simply touch the ball. One defender must pass the ball to another before the defenders win the right to become attackers. Who can keep possession longest? Possession of the ball in the 3-on-2 situation.
Das nächste Spiel von Mini-Futbol.
The next mini soccer game is retaining possession in a 3-on-2 situation. In this game, one of you has to play behind your own 6-meter line. Now the Blues have to keep possession for as long as possible, and if you win the ball, you have to pass it to your own teammate behind the 6-meter line. Let's start.
Halten die Blauen so lange wie möglich den Ball in ihrem Besitz. Und wenn ihr den Ball erobert, müsst ihr ihn zu euren Spieler in der Schusszone spielen. 1 Sekunde, geht los. 2.
A team of 3 tries to keep possession for as long as possible, despite the efforts of its opponents, or to achieve as many touches as possible.
4.
What are the tasks of the player who stays back? Why does one player stay back? What should you avoid if you want to keep possession for as long as possible? You can find answers to these questions in the supplement on this DVD.
If a team keeps possession for 15 seconds, it scores 1 point. The first team to score 3 points wins the game. You can feint. You need not stay in the shooting zone all of the time.
Ihr könnt tauschen, ne? Mit dem letzten Spieler. Du musst nicht immer der letzte Spieler sein. 1, 2, 3.
This variation focuses on off-the-ball play. It is important that players who are not in possession should create space and drag defenders out of position, making life more difficult for the defenders. The time that the players have to keep possession before they score a point should be adjusted to the level of their ability. The coach constantly encourages the players to communicate.
If a team can play 4 passes in succession, it can attack and try to shoot at goal from inside the shooting zone. If you win the ball back, you have to pass it 4 times in succession, and then you have the right to attack. Everyone can then go forward.
Wenn ihr den Ball zurückerobert, 4 Pässe und dann habt ihr Angriffsrecht. Alle 3 können nach vorne. Ja.
After defending successfully, the players have to carry out 3 basic tasks. They must secure possession, play the ball into the shooting zone, and shoot at goal. The first task after winning the ball is to secure possession. The players pass the ball 4 times before they carry out the second task. They play the ball in a controlled manner into the shooting zone. The best way to finish an attack is to shoot accurately at the goal. Mini soccer with handicap.
Ja. Mini-Fußball.
Mini soccer with handicap. What does this mean?
Handicap. When
the orange team scores a goal, one player has to leave the field. He comes to me. The yellows then play 3 on 2, so they have a good chance of equalizing. This means that each team that scores a goal loses a player. Which team is the winner of the mini soccer game after 3 minutes?
Okay, wir können anfangen. Jetzt spielen wir zunächst 3 gegen 3. Ja.
In the game of mini soccer with handicap, the players learn to adjust to constantly changing game situations. Both teams start with the same number of players, 3 on 3. The team that scores a goal then plays with 1 player less, 2 on 3, until the opposition scores a goal. Then the other team plays with 1 man less. It is even possible for a team to play 1 on 3 if it scores a goal when it has 1 player less than the opposing team.
No goal, that was from the outside. Start again from the line.
The game does not stop while 1 player leaves the pitch and another returns. This phase is therefore dangerous. A defense is always especially vulnerable in this phase and likely to concede a goal.
The yellows are attacking. 3 on 2.
The yellows use the opportunity to send an accurate through pass to the incoming player. When the players recognize this danger, they delay their opponent's attacking play after a goal has been scored and switch quickly to defense. Attacking diagonally opposite goals. The following mini-soccer variation helps the players to improve their positional sense and vision. Each team attacks 2 diagonally opposite colored goals and defends the 2 other goals. Sudden changes of direction when running with the ball and sudden switches in the point of attack soon result in goals. Loss of possession is often punished by conceding a goal because one goal is completely undefended. By asking suitable questions, the coach helps his players to attack intelligently and to quickly defend their own goals when they lose possession. Soccer technique and conditioning can be relatively easily improved during coaching sessions. An intelligent player, however, understands how to merge technique and conditioning into a higher, meaningful, and effective whole. In the search for the best possible solution in a game situation, he quickly sees opportunities, but he also sees risks. While he perceives and analyzes the actions of his teammates, he already knows and has mastered the various solutions to the problems that arise. Which of the 2 goals is the best one to attack? What can the attackers do to create a numeric advantage? When is it better to dribble, and when is it better to pass? What should I do when an opponent wins the ball? What should I do when I have scored a goal? Choose any goal. A team attacks any goal. The defender aims to prevent the attackers from scoring and must use clever positional play and fast reactions to do this. Variations on this game, together with questions that the coach might ask, are described in the supplement on this DVD. Through passing. In the through passing game, one attacker is positioned in the shooting zone where he waits for a through pass from the midfield. Initially, the midfield players are not allowed to challenge the attacker, so that he can control the ball without having to cope with any external pressure. He comes under pressure when the midfield players are allowed to challenge him after the through pass from the midfield. Why is it better to pass along the ground? When can the ball be passed through the air? What should the striker do in the shooting zone? With these questions, the coach stimulates the players to think about what to do when a through pass is played. Communication with a front runner when playing a through pass. In the game Communication with a front runner when playing a through pass, the attackers are not allowed to stay in the shooting zone for more than 5 seconds. One attacker makes eye contact with a midfield player and expects a through pass. He sprints into space, takes the ball into the shooting zone, and shoots at goal. What is the best moment to play a through pass? What conditions have to be satisfied before a through pass can be played successfully? With these or similar questions, the coach improves the combination play of his players.
Yes, now we come to a variation on the through passing game. This time the striker is not allowed to score. One of the 2 midfielders must push up into the shooting zone and score a goal.
How can the midfielders be encouraged to support the striker after a through pass? Simple. Just change the rules. The strikers are no longer allowed to score. This forces the midfielders to make forward runs after a through pass, so that one of them can take a pass from the striker and score. The players learn to dictate the pace of the game, to size up the available space and the constantly changing distances, and to find a surprising, creative, and intelligent solution in each game situation. Giving width when attacking.
Giving width when attacking. Before we penetrate into the opposing half, we have to make progress down the right or left flank. You can score by shooting or dribbling the ball over the goal line. Let's go.
Verstanden? Los geht's.
2 6-meter wide goals are formed by placing cones near the touchlines, about halfway down the field. Before the attackers can penetrate into the opposing half, they have to pass or dribble the ball through one of these 2 goals. This rule encourages the players to build up attacks by playing down the flanks. Which of the 2 cone goals should the attackers use? How can you create a numerical advantage on one flank? What should the attackers do when they have penetrated into the opposing half? What should I do when I win the ball? A good coach rarely instructs or orders players to carry out certain actions. He brings his players into situations in which they have to solve problems. He encourages his players to think. Step by step, he guides them to the solutions to possible game problems. In this way, he helps them to size up complex game situations more quickly and to make correct decisions.
That was a great goal. That was good.
Channeling.
So, the next game, channeling. You attack the right and left goals again. However, if you score in the white goal on the right, you get 3 points. And if you score in the yellow goal on the left, you only get 1 point. So which goal should I attack? The white one. Which goal should I defend as well as possible? The white one. Good.
Awarding a different number of points for scoring in the right and left goals encourages the defenders to learn how to close down the available space and channel attacks towards the side of the field where they are best prepared. The attackers must decide whether they are satisfied with 1 point, which they can gain quite easily by scoring in the yellow goal, or whether they would rather attack the white goal, which is well covered. Which goal should I try to attack? What should I do if it is well covered? When is it better to attack the left goal? What should I do if we lose possession? These are the questions that the coach might ask. You can find some possible answers in the supplement on this DVD. Mini soccer with moving goals. In the game mini soccer with moving goals, each team takes 2 goals with a specific color. The problem for the players is that the assistant coaches change the colors of the goals during the game. The players therefore have to stay alert and always be aware of which goals they are attacking and which ones they are defending. Perceptual and positional skills are at the heart of this game. The game is even more interesting when the goals are moved at random on the end lines. When a color change occurs, the players switch quickly and attack the other goals. Any loss of concentration has immediate negative consequences. On a signal from the coach, the 2 assistants change the color of the cone goals. Some players fail to notice this. An attentive player immediately exploits this and scores a goal. He has learned to size up game situations and find the right solutions in a flash. Players can only develop like this if we start to stimulate their soccer intelligence systematically at an early age and continuously encourage them to think. Playing soccer without thinking is like shooting at goal without aiming. There are several other excellent DVDs, books, and videos available on our website, www.reedswain.com, from Peter Schreiner. On DVD and video, coordination, agility, and speed training for soccer provides step-by-step progressions of over 200 exercises to increase players' speed, balance, agility, footwork, and turning ability. Also on DVD and video, coordination and agility training with a soccer ball combines technical training with coordination. The exercises allow the players to practice technique at game-like intensity levels while improving their overall fitness, coordination, explosiveness, quickness, and agility. The companion book, Coordination, Agility, and Speed Training for Soccer. Get the most out of your agility ladder with Peter Schreiner's book, Effective Use of the Agility Ladder for Soccer. Full of fun and effective games and drills, Coaching Youth Soccer covers every aspect of youth coaching with clear and easy-to-follow diagrams and instructions. The Soccerobics video includes hundreds of exercises to develop rhythm and coordination. Players of all levels enjoy this excellent workout. The three-part DVD and video series, The German Touch, covers every aspect of control, dribbling, developing the first touch, and beating an opponent. Part 1 covers dribbling and feinting. Part 2, playing with an opponent at your back. And Part 3, individual skills and ball control. In the best-selling book, The Creative Dribbler, coaches will find many excellent ideas to make their coaching sessions varied and motivating while concentrating on developing technique and the first touch. The video Pendulum Training offers hundreds of excellent fun and challenging exercises to develop your players' skills, heading, and touch with the use of a suspended ball.